you know, the coral reefs all around the world, they are declining. You know, tell us more about the Coral Watch initiative. You want to talk about that and the importance of preserving our coral reefs, Dari, please.
So coral reefs are very, very important to preserve. A lot of people may not realize, but they are very sensitive organisms, and we have to pay attention because they provide the ecosystem for our fish, for our marine life. So without the homes of the fish, we will no longer have any fish in the ocean. Now, I encourage all divers and all members of society who are watching us right now to actually participate in Coral Watch. Very simply, just Google Coral Watch or go coralwatch.org, and you can find out more information on how to participate. But we simply do, on a regular basis, dives to actually check the health of the coral. And recently, before Eid, after Eid al-Fitr, we noticed that the corals have been bleaching, and our team has reported that, and it's been all over the media. And that was, you know, one of our main objectives is to raise awareness.
Now, when you say bleaching, explain to our audience now, bleaching, what is that occurrence exactly, Dari, please?
So the bleaching is where the certain, if you will, marine organisms, algae, disappear from the coral and start to go away from the skeleton of the coral, and the coral starts to turn white. Now, I tell you this is from an amateur diver. This is not from a marine biologist by any means, but that's what bleaching means. And it certainly means that the coral is dying. And it's a very serious sign. We need to pay attention to this, and we need to protect our corals.
Exactly, and now the state of our marine life, we'll get to that question now. How is it, the state of our marine environment? What's the Kuwait Dives team and their efforts to protect our environment, Dari?
So, alhamdulillah, we're seeing and we're noticing a lot of good, if you will, healthy signs that the environment is actually getting better, which is great. But that doesn't mean that we should care less about the environment since it's getting better. Our team has been involved in lifting fishing nets from the coral reefs. We are maintaining and installing 70+ buoys around the reefs of around the reefs of Kuwait. So we've been very, very active in our efforts to protect and rehabilitate the marine environment here.
Yeah, have you people are still a bit, let's say, careless, let's say, when they go out boating and so forth, when it comes to the coral reefs and the marine environment in general. Have you been noticing that as the Kuwait Dive Team, Dari?
Absolutely, but like I said, I mean, those are just a few people, so we try to encourage them, you know, to pay good attention to the environment and to practice the safe practices, you know, in terms of boating, in terms of not dropping anchor, you know, next to the coral reef, but actually utilizing the buoys. You know, if you're fishing, do not cast the fishing nets. And we encourage, you know, throughout the, you know, this show to contact us. Now, here the footage you see is actually us monitoring the bleaching, and we're trying to do it as scientifically as possible, where we are recording, you know, the state of the coral and the livelihood of the coral here in Kuwait. This footage was taken at Garo Island, and we were actually very fortunate to have media coverage, and we had a reporter on the boat with us, and they sort of helped us out in picking the locations where we should survey. So it's not locations where we think that are most damaged, but it was just a candid opinion from one of the reporters on where to survey the damage.
They do look bleached.
Yes.
Obvious for the audience watching right there. And this is off Garo Island, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And the good thing is, a lot of the bleaching can be attributed to the high water temperatures.
Okay.
But that may not be the only cause. But the good news is, since now the weather is getting colder, and since the water temperature is dropping lower and lower, we can see good signs that the coral is actually reviving.
Okay.
But that still means we need to pay good close attention to the state of the coral, and we need to still maintain the marine environment.
Okay, now I believe the Kuwait Dive Team also has a website.
Yes.
Can you tell us about the website and what our audience can see on that website, Dari?
So our website is available in 7 different languages. You can visit us on www.freekuwait.org. You'll find our channels on YouTube. You'll find a link to our pages on Facebook. you will find a link to Twitter, and you will find also an extensive list of our photos on Flickr as well. So we have a huge library, if you will, and documentation of our work. And the purpose is to spread awareness, and all this work is available to anybody in the world, be it a researcher, be it a student, a marine biologist, somebody who just loves the environment and wants to utilize that material. It's all available to them.
Very well said, Dari. And coming towards the end of our interview this evening, any last comments for the audience watching in Kuwait or wherever they may be watching around the world this evening?
So please, please protect the marine environment. You know, this is something that we're very passionate about as a team. And lastly, I'd like to extend the thank you again to you, Tariq, and to your wonderful team here for hosting us and continually supporting us. Thank you.
It's our pleasure to have you, Dari, on the program once again. You're a member of the Kuwait dive team, Guardians of the Sea. We wish you and all your colleagues the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for joining us. Right now, we're going to take a short break and then move on to another one of our great reports. Stay tuned.